Now, if you happen to wander by Techspert Towers this past week, chances are your ears pricked at the sounds of anguished screams and gnashing of teeth as a middle-aged YouTube twat was brutally slain by AI orcs and filthy bloody children on their school holidays. Over and over again. I've been doing a lot of mobile gaming on the Pixel 11 Pro this past week, or at least attempting to do a lot of mobile gaming on it, more on that in a bit, and somehow defying logic by actually getting worse. But my general suckage aside, how is the Pixel 11 Pro for gaming on fast-paced online murder simulators and overstuffed extravaganzas like Wuthering Waves? Well, let's have a squint. My full Pixel 11 Pro review is also live right now if you want to have a bit of a gander at the rest of it. Now, first up, I've been doing all of my gaming on Google's Pixel 11 Pro, the regular one, not the XL model. And this is the one with 512 gigs of storage and 16 gigs of RAM. If you do snaffle yourself the cheaper 256 gig model, well, this also strips back the memory to just 12 gigs. Thanks a bunch, AI bros. And personally, I do prefer a more compact phone for everyday use. But the smaller display of the Pro isn't quite as comfortable for extensive gaming, at least if you're relying on those touchscreen controls. If you are big into your gaming, I would certainly recommend either going XL or just hooking up a Bluetooth controller. It's considerably more comfortable. Now, one of these days I'm sure they'll improve it, but for now Google's gaming mode is still basic at best. For one, none of the games that I tested actually supported those optimization tools, so you're stuck with the bare bones options here. You can usually access the achievements list if you're signed in with Google Play Games. For some reason, the Pixel 11 Pro only sporadically allows me to do this in titles like Wuthering Waves. You can see no access today. Besides that, it's pretty simple stuff. You've got a do not disturb toggle. You can get a frame rate counter on the go if you're particularly nerdy. And you can also screenshot or record the action or stream direct to YouTube if you really fancy a bunch of randoms calling you out for being shite at games. Oh, good news, the Pixel 11 Pro just decided to sign me into Google Play Games randomly, so here's my achievements. I've been playing this game for years. I literally have 3 of them. That is 1 achievement per year of gameplay. And that's absolutely it. I mean, you can't even get that fresh new highlight jobby around back to flash funky colours for no apparent reason, like you can with dedicated gaming phones. Now, I kicked off my gaming experiment on the Pixel 11 Pro with a classic bit of Call of Duty Mobile. And by default, the graphics were set to the max levels, but I boosted the frame rate to Ultra to see how it could handle a bit of 120 frames per second action. And thankfully the result was good, beautifully smooth gameplay that mostly clung to that 120 frames per second rate. Only the occasional discernible wee judder. And the great news is the built-in vapor chamber also kept the Pixel 11 Pro reasonably cool. So even after well over an hour of gaming on this thing, didn't notice any kind of throttling or performance issues. Of course, the only compromise with that ultra frame rate mode is you can't set the graphics to the maximum levels, and so I dropped the frame rate from ultra to max, a bit of a misnomer, and then boosted the graphics up to the max levels to see how that would handle life. And again, the Pixel 11 Pro handled it all absolutely fine. Those graphics were nice and crispy, the frame rate only occasionally discernibly dropped below 60 FPS. Which would probably annoy one of these e-gamer people who are actually quite good. For me, it made bugger all difference. And again, cool and handled it all in its stride. No throttling of that performance even after well over an hour of gaming. However, I did experience some rather odd connectivity issues when gaming on Call of Duty on the Pixel 11 Pro. Whether I was connected to my home Wi-Fi or connected to a mobile network, I did find sometimes that when I was joining a match, or sometimes even partway through a match, I would get a connection lost type message. If I was partway through a match, suddenly everyone would just freeze or would just all bulk up. And usually, mercifully, I was able to rejoin the match within just a few seconds, pretty much straight away. But obviously that's less than ideal in such a highly competitive game where literally every second could matter. And it did put me somewhat on edge, even more than those filthy camping sniper lurking in bushes. Anyway, connectivity woes aside, the Call of Duty mobile experience perfectly enjoyable here on the Pixel 11 Pro, and so I decided to up the game and really test out the Pixel 11 Pro with one of my favourites, by which I mean I've just persevered with it for years because it's a good way of testing the mettle of any new smartphone. Good old Wuthering Waves. And sadly, the gaming experience on Wuthering Waves here on the Pixel 11 Pro wasn't good. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it was about as enjoyable as playing croquet, or even playing croquet using your fun bag as the mallet, which I have actually attempted at quite a few weddings now, to the point where it's basically my party trick. Now, I started, as I always do with flagship smartphones, by diving into the settings, going to the graphics settings, setting that to quality, and basically boosting up everything that I could. A rather foolhardy move in retrospect, and I've got to admit I wasn't expecting great things from the Pixel 11 Pro, but I was still rather gobsmacked to see Wuthering Waves reduced to little more than a slideshow. I mean, we are literally talking an FPS in single figures. And that is at all times, not just the occasional wee drop, which renders the game completely unplayable. And so my entire squad was wiped out even quicker than usual, so I dove straight back into that graphics menu and lowered the settings to more sort of balanced levels. And sadly, while the frame rate did improve, it barely ever jumped into double digits. Not until I said, right, okay, bloody hell, let's lower all of the settings to the minimum possible levels, get the best possible performance out of this thing. And then the game was certainly more playable, although I definitely would not describe the experience as smooth. I mean, frankly, it was still a juddery mess. I've honestly had better performance out of budget-friendly smartphones around a third of the price of the Pixel 11 Pro, stuff like the Nothing Phone 4B. So yeah, certainly appears that some optimization is required before the likes of Wuthering Waves are playable on the Tensor G6, which is rather shocking given that this is a pro flagship smartphone. But I was so bewildered by just how bad the gaming experience on Wuthering Waves was on the Pixel 11 Pro that I got in touch with my great mate Basil over at Tech Edit, smashing channel by the way, go check that out if you haven't already. And he confirmed he was having just the same problems as well, it was just unbelievably terrible. Anyway, undeterred, I started downloading the next gaming extravaganza, good old Genshin Impact, yet another 50 gig mega bastard. And so it's just as well I've got the Pixel 11 Pro with half a terabyte of storage, because otherwise I'd be in serious trouble. And yes, after Wuthering Waves fell flat on its arse, it's fair to say that jumping straight onto Genshin Impact was perhaps a slightly optimistic venture. On par with Burke and Wills attempted to conquer the Australian outback, armed only with a thermos of Earl Grey tea and a copy of Travel Cluedo. Unfortunately, it turned out this experiment was just as short-lived as the Wuthering Waves effort. I mean, first of all, Genshin Impact just straight up refused to even load, just kept crashing every time. So I went into the settings, I recompiled the shaders to see if that would help. Sure enough, that did the job, but unfortunately, when the game actually finally loaded, I could tell that something was amiss. Those graphics, yeah, not quite what I remember from the last time I played Genshin Impact. I think it was slightly more purple than what I was used to. And the fact that I couldn't actually see my enemies made fighting them even trickier than usual, and frankly, I already suck at this game. I don't need even more hardships. So I tried recompiling the shaders again. That didn't help. I went into compatibility mode, gave that a go. Absolutely bugger all help that was. I was so desperate I even re-downloaded all 50 bloody gigs. But to no avail, Genshin Impact simply not having any of it. So with a heavy heart, I called this experiment to an end and declared that the Pixel 11 Pro just simply hates gaming, cannot stand it. Now I'm really hoping that, in a month or two, I'll return to the Pixel 11 Pro, give Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact another go, and they'll be working absolutely flawlessly. Frankly, I think I've got more chance of marrying Emma Stone, but we'll see what happens. But as I say, Pixel 11 Pro full review is live right now on TechSpert. Thankfully, the rest of the experience not quite as tragic as the gaming abilities. As I say, rather ridiculous when you consider, again, like budget-friendly smartphones run the likes of Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. Well, they actually run it, which is more than can be said for this bloody thing. So let us know what you reckon of the Pixel 11 Pro down in the comments below. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. And have yourselves a really wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!